Hello students, welcome to Hankook University of Foreign Studies. For those of you who may not already know who I am, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Scott Haven, and it's my privilege to be your professor this semester. I'm not going to lecture in this video. This will just be a brief course introduction. We'll talk about the textbook, grading, what you can expect from me, and what I expect from students. This is the course syllabus, and I will post a PDF file on our e-class, so if you don't have it, please press pause now and print it so we can go through it together. The first thing I want to draw your attention to, students, is my email address. Students, this is my personal email address. It's the #1 way to contact me if you ever have a question about a homework assignment or upcoming quiz. This is the best way, the quickest way to reach me. Should you want to email me, I would ask you very kindly, please include your name and student number and class time that you're in. It just helps me answer emails more efficiently. So students, I really don't want to read the syllabus to you verbatim. That means word for word. I already know what I want to say, and that is the purpose of this course is to develop your command and knowledge of the English language. I have some good news. You only have one homework assignment, and that is, if you haven't already, please purchase the textbook. It's National Geographic Pathways Listening and Speaking Level 3, so make sure you grab the right one. There should be plenty of copies. This textbook is relatively new. I don't know, guys. There's a lot of colorful pictures. It's not perfect, but I do think it's better than some of the textbooks we have used in the past. So when you have a chance, please do pick up the textbook. We'll start using it soon. I'm not going to go into this in great detail right now, but one of the things students need to do whenever you buy your textbook is to make a student account. I will talk more about that in the next video, but in order to listen to the audio files, students need to make a student account. Again, I'll discuss that more in the next video. So, textbook. What else? Guys, probably the most important thing we need to discuss today is, I know this is a little awkward, grading. I will talk more about this as the semester progresses, but midterm and final exam, 30% each. I will talk more about what the midterm is comprised of later, but just to give you some idea, typically my midterms have fill-in-the-blank vocabulary and a listening test. However, the unusual circumstances we find ourselves in, the test format is subject to change. In other words, if the test is online, I may have to restructure it accordingly, but don't worry about that right now. I promise I'll talk more about this as the semester progresses. Let's see here. Attendance and participation, 20%. It's really 10% attendance, 10% participation. Regarding attendance, well, I hope to see you all at the end of March or early April, but class is just more enjoyable if students are involved and enthusiastically participating. Attendance, if you're ever absent, please just send me an email or bring a doctor's note. I'll excuse your absence, no problem, but please do let me know. What else? Quizzes. Usually during the semester I have a couple of quizzes, but Again, the semester is a little different than usual, so I'm not sure how many quizzes I'll administer, but possibility of a quiz. Now, before I wrap this up, we need to talk about the relative grading curve. Most of you are probably already familiar with it, but I need to mention it. Assuming there are 30 students in our class and there are no repeat students, there will be a maximum of 9 A's, 11 B's, and I'm sorry to say a minimum of 10 C's. Now again, I really want to emphasize this is subject to change depending on the number of students we have in the class and the number of repeat students. So it's not just how well you do, but how well you do in relation to other students. I wouldn't worry yourself too much about that right now, but it's something to bear in mind. What else? All right, just moving along in the syllabus here. Let's see here. Further information and notice. Class participation, as already mentioned, is very important. It's just more enjoyable if everyone is involved. Finally, guys, your ability to articulate yourself in a clear and concise manner will be a critical point of evaluation. Many students ask me, how can I improve my speaking skills? And that's a complicated question, but in my professional opinion, one of the best ways is to be willing to make mistakes. I hope you remember that for the rest of your university life. It's painful, but be willing to make mistakes. I've had many English teachers in my life, but the best English teacher I ever had was my father. When I was a young boy, he used to correct my English, and it would drive me crazy. But it was my father who really polished my English. He taught me to speak and write eloquently. And if you allow me, I would be very happy to polish your English. So, what else? On the last page, students, it's just a broad stroke outline of what I hope to accomplish this semester. Probably we won't have time to cover all the chapters on the syllabus, but and we may not go exactly in this order, but just to give you some idea. And finally, students, I just want to say, despite the difficult circumstances we find ourselves in, I want you to maintain perspective. This virus will pass, so it's important not to allow ourselves to be consumed with fear. I want our class not just to be the best class this semester, but I want our class to be the best class of your university life. That will not be easy, but that is my hope. So, students, just in review, what I want you to do is, when you have a chance, print out the syllabus, and equally important, please buy the textbook. I forgot to mention, typically on Mondays I reserve for High English vocabulary, and on Wednesdays and Fridays we'll use the textbook. So that's typically the pattern, and that could change, but that's usually how I structure my class. Well, I look forward to seeing you soon. In the next video, we'll start studying together, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.